whistle of terrorism to justify illegal actions, to justify violent actions in Muslim countries, Muslim communities. You cannot take on terrorism. You cannot combat terrorism if you're going to use it as a political tool to demonize the Muslims within your own country, a political tool to demonize the Muslims in Indian-occupied Kashmir, and as a political tool to demonize your neighbor. Pakistan would still like to cooperate with India to combat terrorism. We can't leave the fate of 1.5, 1.7 billion people in the hands of non-state actors and terrorists. For them to decide at a whim that two nuclear armed powers will go to war. And this is the new normal or the new abnormal that the Indian government is trying to impose on the region. That if there's a terrorist attack anywhere in India, anywhere in Indian-occupied Kashmir, it means war with Pakistan. And reciprocity would mean that any terrorist attack in Pakistan, particularly given our long list of complaints about Indian involvement in Balochistan and Pakhtunkhwa with the BLA, with the war with India, that is untenable. You can't have no dispute resolution mechanisms between two nuclear armed countries. In addition to a dialogue on terrorism, where hopefully we're able to agree to some sort of mechanism, where if India has any complaints or Pakistan has any complaints, we should be able to bring those complaints to a mutually agreed forum, where we work together to identify the terrorists, to track the terrorists, and deliver justice to the victims of terrorism. To ensure that we cooperate to address this issue, rather than as a knee-jerk reaction go to war. In addition to this, obviously, there's a root cause. And in this case, the root cause of terrorism in Indian-occupied Kashmir is the unresolved agenda of Kashmir before the United Nations Security Council. They are promises that we made as an international community to the people of Kashmir, that India made to the people of Kashmir, and those promises are still not kept. If we're going to continue to ignore this issue and allow that wound to fester, there will forever be a bone of contention between India and Pakistan. In addition to Kashmir, the most recent front that India has opened in the context of this crisis is the weaponization of water. The violation of the Indus Water Treaty by the Indian government must be condemned across the board. We cannot allow this precedent to be set. The mere threat to cut off the water supply for 200 million people is a violation of the UN Charter. Acting on this threat would be seen as an act of war by Pakistan. This is not something I say with any pleasure. Pakistan does not seek to be in this position. But I ask any country that if their lifeline was being cut off, if their water supply was being cut off, how would they react? The weaponization of water, given the challenges of climate change, the water scarcity that we anyway face in Pakistan, is something that surely no civilized country can endorse. No civilized country must allow for this precedent to take root. The Pakistani delegation today is concluding our trip here to New York and our engagements at the United Nations, where we engage with various representatives of different countries and obviously of the United Nations, including the UN Secretary General, the President of the UN, the Security Council, E10 Group, and others, where Pakistan has appealed to the international community to assist us in our pursuit for peace. Just as the international community played its role in encouraging India to agree to a ceasefire, the international community must play its role in encouraging India to engage in a comprehensive dialogue with Pakistan so that we can address our issues and achieve peace. In conclusion, and before I take your questions, I'd like to know that India likes to present itself as a net security provider. The United States subsidizes the Indian economy, the Indian military, on the basis that it's to be a net security provider. India's actions have shown, as a result of this conflict, that they are a source of insecurity, not a source of security for the region. The true net security provider for our region and beyond will be peace between India and Pakistan. The President of the United States has a unique opportunity to deliver on his commitment to peace within the context of India and Pakistan. The United States enjoys good relations with Pakistan and enjoys good relations with India. From tomorrow, we will be starting our engagements in DC, where we'll be engaging with representatives of the United States government, of the United States Parliament, and we will be seeking to encourage the United States and other international players to play their role to facilitate this process. I thank you, and I look forward to taking your questions.
After this statement, the floor is open. Yes.
Thank you, Minister. Nice to see you again on behalf of the United Nations Correspondent Association. Thanks for the press conference. I have two questions. My name is Betül Yürük with CNBC Turkey. First, a global question maybe. Do you believe current tariff policies under the Trump administration are harming developing nations like Pakistan